Good morning, or depending when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, I had a voice radio. So today, we are looking at the final of the Ultra Beast. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a picture of Celesteela, and we have a translation. And our translation comes from Rappelman TCG, Mr. David Hockman himself on Facebook, and it's slightly underwhelming, if I'm honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the Ultra Beasts have been really good. I'm a big fan of Buzzwole. Buzzwole looks really nice. And I personally like Veramosa, although a bunch of you fought me on that, which is fine. Discussion is good. Xurkitree, we all pretty much agreed was good. Celesteela, yeah. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. But let's have a look anyway. Let's have a gander, because there are uses for it. It's not a garbage, terrible card. It's just not one of the best. So, it is a Metal-type Pokemon, which means you'll be hitting for weakness against Gardevoir, which is nice, what with the whole Gardevoir still wrecking the format. You have a Lightning weakness, which is one of the best weaknesses to have at the moment, because there really isn't much good Lightning stuff running around. Although Raichu GX, which has just come out from Shining Legends, or technically is about to come out, but some of the products have been released early, officially, bit weird, could be good, and therefore could challenge a little bit. And of course you've got Tapu Koko GX, which is kind of funky, and some people are playing the promo Tapu Koko with Lightning Energy as well, which could come in here. Resistance to fighting is very good because of the aforementioned Buzzwole and Lycanroc, which is likely to get a bit of a boost with Zoroark GX coming out. Now, in terms of resistance, I would prefer a Psychic resistance because of Garbodor. And actually here, Metal Pokemon usually resist Psychic. This is a very strange weakness and resistance combination for a Metal Pokemon, and the reason is very simple. In the video games, it is a Steel Flying type, so in the trading card game, it's been given the typing of Metal, but it's been given the weakness and resistance of a Flying Pokemon, that being weak to Lightning, resistance to Fighting. Retreat cost of 4 is utterly huge, but I don't know, you can use Heavy Ball. And 200 HP is big. It is a huge HP on a basic Pokemon, but it's actually not that impressive anymore. Guzzlord coming out has 210 HP, and back in Guardians Rising we were given Wishy-Washy GX, which had 210 HP as well. So we're in this weird situation at the moment where 200 HP on a basic Pokemon is actually not as high as it could have been. Now, being a Metal Pokemon, you've got Registeel as a starter here. 30 damage for 1 energy, attach a basic to a Pokemon on your bench from your discard pile. So it's nice that you've got that. And being a basic Pokemon means you can use Fighting Fury Bout to up your HP. And you can use Max Elixir to accelerate energy. So the first attack here, and as I've always said, ladies and gentlemen, there will be timestamps in the description if you just want to flick to particular attacks. The first attack does 30 damage, plus 30 more for each retreat cost that your opponent has. So if they've got a retreat cost of 4, you are doing 120, but if they've got a retreat cost of 0, you're only doing 30. Take something like a promo Tapu Koko, for instance, with the resistance and the free retreat, you're literally doing 10 for free energy. That is very bad indeed. Now, in terms of the energy, we've already mentioned Max Elixir, and of course you've got double colourless energy here, which can help an awful lot in terms of paying for this attack, though you will still need deferred energy as well as double colourless. Now, this attack is very much haphazard. Against some Pokemon it will be good, some it won't. I'll give you some examples in a minute, but first of all, might I remind you that we do have a couple of ways at the moment of increasing the retreat cost. So we've got a Lowland Dug Trio. A Lowland Dug Trio raises the retreat cost of all of your opponent's Pokemon, or at least the one in the active, but that's the only one where it's ever going to be relevant, by 1 with the beautifully named Tangling Hair ability. Now, this is a Stage 1 Pokemon, and it's a little bit awkward, and it just seems a little bit clunky. But you've got that option there if you need it. We also have a card which I've not seen played by anybody since it came out, but Mount Lanakila, which also ups the retreat cost of 1 for all basic Pokemon in the active. But it's only basic. We did have Team Aqua's Secret Base until the recent rotation that upped the retreat cost of all Pokemon that were not Team Aqua Pokemon. That was way more useful with a card like this, because there's an awful lot of non-basic Pokemon around at the moment that will not be affected by Mount Lanakila. So let's look at some of the main attackers we've got in the format at the moment and see if we can get KOs. First of all, we've got Gardevoir GX, retreat cost of 2, 240 HP, but really it's weak to metal, so essentially it's 120 HP, which means 30 base, plus 60 for the 2 retreat cost is 90. If you add a choice band, you're getting a one-hit KO on Gardevoir for free energy on a basic Pokemon. For this particular usage, it's good. Then again, you can also do 90 for free energy on a basic with Registeel, who doesn't give up 2 prizes, and has a much better backup attack. We've got Tapu Bulu, retreat cost of 3, 180 HP, which means you'll generally be hitting 120, which means you need to give him an extra 2 retreat cost, or give him an extra 1 retreat cost with Choice Band. The one good thing here is that Tapu Bulu being a basic does mean that you can use Mount Lanakila to increase his retreat cost. Choice Band and Mount Lanakila, you get the KO here without any Alolan Dugtrio. Although while we're talking about this stadium, do remember that your opponent can use Field Blower, but in this instance, you are in control. You put the stadium down, and then you attack, so your opponent isn't given an opportunity to get rid of the stadium. It becomes one of those stadiums that you're putting down to use yourself, making it a lot more useful than it would usually be. Metagross has a retreat cost of 3 and 250 HP. With the base of 30, you would still need a retreat cost of 8 to hit a total of 270 and get the KO. Retreat cost of 3 here means you need to add 5 to the retreat cost of Metagross, or 4 plus a choice band. So you can get a one-hit KO on Metagross here, but you will need 4 Alolan Dugtrio and a choice band in order to pull it off. Not impossible, but impractical. Golisopod has a retreat cost of 3 and 250 HP, so you need to add 3 retreat, that's 3 Alolan Dugtrio, or 2 of a choice band. And Garbodor, you're actually getting a one-hit KO anyway. Their retreat cost of 3 means you'll be hitting 120 and getting that KO. But as a general rule here, this attack just isn't good enough. It's good against some Pokemon, it's great against Gardevoir and Garbodor, but that's about it. Tapu Bulu, you can get the KO with a choice band and a Mount Lanakila, but it just ends up being too awkward. Now, the second attack here, I'm just going to label this one as flat out underwhelming. 130 damage for 4 energy. It's not particularly great. What really annoys me here is, first of all, you're paying the 4 energy cost, which is expensive. And secondly, even with a choice band, you're only hitting 160. Okay, that's enough to get Marshadow, but these other playable basic GXs at the moment, think things like Tapu Lele, think things like Tapu Fini, think things like Drampa, they really have 170, 180 HP. And you're not getting a one-hit KO here. And I know you can play Professor Kukui to do so, but if you've got to use 4 energy, plus a choice band, plus a Professor Kukui to get a KO, that is not an ideal situation. And as for the GX attack here, again you've got an attack cost of 4, 1 metal, 3 colourless, so it falls into my you don't have to add extra energy to use a GX, which is nice. It does 180, and you get to flip over your prize card. It's a town map plus a one-hit KO. This is actually a really useful attack. Now, do remember that sometimes giving your opponent information with town map, or this, is a little bit awkward, and according to David Hockman, you do have to turn all of your prize cards face up. It's not an optional thing. So sometimes you'll give away information like particular tech cards which are prized. Let's say you're against a Greninja and you give away that your Giratina is prized. That's information that they can use. So mostly good, but occasionally annoying. And the damage here is much better. 180 means you add a choice band, you're doing 210. That's enough to get a one-hit KO on Pokemon like Espeon and Golisopod. Even 180 normally gets those Pokemon I said about a minute ago, like Drampa, like Tapu Lele. So the damage here is good, and I like the town map style effect, making sure that you can choose the prizes you take from here on in the game, so that you can grab the best ones when you take a KO. But for 4 energy, that, ladies and gentlemen, is just way too expensive for me to take seriously. I want to like Celesteela, I really do. I love the typing, but the attacks here are all just a bit underwhelming. I like the GX attack, but not for 4 energy. The second attack is kind of rubbish, especially for 4 energy, and the first attack is fine. But it's good against some Pokemon, and against other Pokemon you need to bring in stadiums and stage 1s and tools just to be able to get a KO. And when you have to start bringing in all this extra stuff to get a KO, it's just too awkward. Maybe if it was for 1 energy it would be worth it, but it's not, and I just can't condone it. We're going to have to give Celesteela between 2 and 3 Wassies. We don't give half Wassies, that would be barbaric. I don't think it's a completely unplayable card that no one will ever try and use, but I really do not see it being the basis of, or even a good tech in, many decks in the near future. If I'm playing some kind of Registeel deck, I'm going Kartana over Celesteela all day long. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, I want to know what you think, so let me know in the comments. Go nuts, be nice. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassie, and Twitch at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. That's where the live action happens. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus pods, etc., there's one going up tomorrow. Then you can do so at patreon.com/PTCGRadio. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves until next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.